LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Wherever you are, welcome to another Tuesday Talk. Amazing. Have you ever wondered why you are overlooked for some opportunities and openings in the company that you are working for, though you check all the tick boxes and you are absolutely the perfect person for the job, but you are not getting the role? Today, I want to uncover 3 mindsets, beliefs that possibly might be contributing to the fact that you are not seen as a leader. So, welcome to Tuesday Talk. These conversations are for senior managers, seasoned professionals that they are thinking and planning for landing higher profile roles. And the work we do with this group of people is to make you headhuntable, if that's a word. The second group that we work with, and they can benefit from this conversation, are people that they are already in senior position roles, C-suite, and they are thinking to transition out and do some work on the side or completely set up their own businesses. And the work we do with them is to make you launch ready, if that's the word. The thing that is common between the two groups and what they want to achieve and what we do for them is to create a personal brand for you that tells the world who you are and what you offer this world. Today's conversation, why you're overlooked as a leader, though you have everything that is needed for it, is not a result of a lot of research. It was actually because of a phone call that I had from a good friend of mine that we used to work many years ago together, and he just gave me a call out of the blue to talk about how he didn't get the opportunity that was absolutely obvious that he would get it. And the most important thing that was frustrating for him is that he didn't get any feedback. The thing that was said to him, yeah, he needs to learn a few more things, but they didn't specify what it is. They didn't give him any negative feedback. Absolutely not. Everybody loves him in the company. And he just found it frustrating that I have everything, but I'm not getting the role. Should I start looking outside? So I went through all my notes and all the things that I normally capture from private coaching and sometimes even talks, group talks. And I captured 3 things that I thought I'll share with you, that they are quite subtle, but definitely impact as how people see you, particularly if you are a leader or you are a manager. So first one is the safety first thinking. And I explained what that means because these days we are in cybersecurity is one of the most important thing. And so no, we're not just talking about not complying with rules. We're not talking about breaking things. No, none of that. The safety thinking way of being is to try to find out what it is, to do something that is not common or is not currently set. See, safety is coming from the concept of certainty, is where we are at, everything is in place, we know if we do this, we'll get this. This is the process, this is the way we do things. So when we present a plan, when we present a roadmap, if everything is based on what everybody knows, this is presenting you or presenting the plan as a safe plan because all the elements of it is predictable. So the way to think about it and identify if you are a risk-averse leader, person, or safety-first type of person is to look at last 9 months. We are since the beginning of the year, and look at the type of conversations that you have had, the type of deliverables you've had, and see anywhere you have been trying to bring something that is completely new, something that you have probably received a note that, but that's not how we do things here. Or you have received a feedback or heard someone says, this is not how we do things in our industry. The ability, this is not just challenging a status quo, because we're not going against anything. We're just pushing the boundaries. And I want you to think about and start scanning your work, look at all your emails, look at all your presentations, look at all your conversations internally and externally, and try to see if you have been a person that is trying to bring something new, or try to see if you have been someone that is stopping something that has been going for a while. The status phrases that normally are said, this is how we do things here. Okay, the fact that we've been doing it this way for a while doesn't mean that we have to continue. So try to see if you can identify in the way you operate in a company, or even in your social space, are you a person that tries to do things differently? Because doing things differently is breaking certainty away from what is norm, and it's associated with risk because we don't know what the outcome might be. That's one of the things that would be highly associated. People that they take risk are highly associated as leaders, because they are the ones that they are leading the team, leading the company, leading the group to a new space. The second thing that I want to call your attention to, and it's quite known, but again, it's a little bit challenging. If you are an invisible contributor to the type of work, there's a difference between a showman and a leader. And the key differentiator is when you do something, if you, people around you, internally and externally, know what you have created, what you have delivered, what you have contributed to. And a lot of time in private coaching, it comes across as, I want my work to speak for itself, which is very modest, but it's not serving you, because if no one is able to see what you have delivered, what you are capable of, you will not be able to get the type of roles that you would want. So let me offer you something that you can identify if you are able to contribute your past work and contribute to others by sharing your past work and your success. If you look at your resume, if you look at your last 4 or 5 years, and even if you have been in the same company, if you look at the past 4 or 5 years and what you've delivered, look at number of cases with the structure of case that gets published. Look at potential number of cases that might be there that shows there was a challenge, you came in, you presented a solution, you saw it all the way to the end, and you delivered something. So with that definition, look at how many cases are there and have a look at how many opportunities you have created to transfer this case, to teach, to share, to publish these cases with anyone beyond your immediate team. Everybody knows when you share something, a case, a lesson learned, it takes a lot of time and effort, so everybody knows that. Second one is actually quite exposing when we share a lesson learned, the mistake that we've made with others, and they would know that you're going through a little bit of effort and exposing yourself, the mistakes that you've made, to prevent them from making any mistake. So by switching your mind from, I'm going to share something from self-promotion to, I'm going to share something to prevent others making the mistake that I've made, you will be able to move away from self-promotion to being of service. So it's very common theme, and we have a lot of. I often have a little bit of giggle with clients that I ask them, okay, can I ask you to look at your Google Drive and find out if there is a case, and if it's inside a final folder, probably you need to go and drag it up and create a case so we can publish it somewhere. It's always a fun conversation. And then I ask, how many cases do you have potentially? And they will say, how many do you want? I'm like, okay, let's just start with 3. Next example that I want to talk to you about, the case of why you won't be able to see as a leader, is a little bit more subtle, and it's really tied to your type of work you do. But I want you to start thinking about, are you a tactical thinker or a strategic thinker? And the key point that identifies and helps you to identify which one you are, and then later on you can change it, is the timeline of your deliverables, the timeline of things that you're talking about. If majority of your things that you are pressing, pushing, moving forward are the timeline of a quarter, a year, up to 18 months, you're probably on the tactical side. And if the things that you're pushing and operating or investing your time and you're trying to bring to your organization that they have timeline of 3 to 5 years, you're more a strategic thinker. And here is the key thing. We don't talk about the strategic things every day, but normally they are a starting point of a conversation, or they are the ones that we try to sell in order to do our day-to-day job. So the key thing that I want to invite you to consider, if you look at your day-to-day activities, if you look at all your meetings that you've had in your calendar in last year, we are almost in November, almost a year, look at this and see what's the percentage of your conversation that you're looking at something that has a longer horizon versus what you have currently that is only about, okay, this quarter or this active project. So with that distinction, you'll be able to identify for yourself where you are operating mostly. So the 3 mindsets, safety first, invisible contributor, and tactical thinker, are the key ones that I could identify that they'll always keep you on a manager and the doer level, and it stop you from being seen as a leader. The good thing is, once you identify which space you are operating in and which is your normal mode of operation and the way you normally talk and what's your language, if you are in this side or that side, you can start changing it. And that over time will change people's perception of you. Is he a leader, or is the person that once we have the direction, we invite them to do the job, execute it? All right, my friend, this is what I wanted to start considering. There's one other subtle thing that came out of the conversation with my friend, his frustration, that I want to share with you as well, is that his point that was like, oh, I didn't get any feedback. The more you grow up, the higher you go, the less feedback you're going to receive. So start getting comfortable with that, because you no longer are in school, you're no longer in university, that there's a lecturer, a teacher, someone, an instructor that will give you feedback as if you're doing well or not. It's not a school anymore. So you need to develop your own mechanism to understand, am I doing well? Where do I need some refinement? Where do I need to push harder? But I wanted to leave you with this one thing. If you're still looking for feedback, you have some work to do. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week, same time, same place, and definitely a different topic. Bye.